Nichols, an upper-class woman who was never trained in the field of business, made the mission statement. While my principal object is for my own gratification, I hope to make the pottery pay expenses. Personal friends bought many of the pieces during her first years of business. Nevertheless, in a genius move, she hired William Watts Taylor as manager in June 1883. Taylor was an experienced cotton broker, cultured gentleman, and personal friend. He is known for guiding Rookwood in its first generation to artistic and technical preeminence in American ceramics. One of his first orders of business in reforming Rookwood pottery was to develop a system to record the shapes of production and types of decoration. The Rookwood Shape Record Book was a 200-page ledger where the smallest detail about the pottery was recorded. It is considered the most valuable single document of study of Rookwood from 1883 to 1900. Taylor never made any changes to interfere with Nichols' vision. For example, even though a single-fire decorative process would increase production and cut costs, it was never seriously considered. Taylor also maintained Nichols' division of labor and followed her marketing practices. Taylor knew Rookwood's aesthetic achievements mattered little without public exposure. He gave pieces to museums and cooperated with serious writers for public attention. Taylor also sent Rookwood to regional, national, and international expositions. He advertised in magazines with national circulation and turned the physical plant of Rookwood into a showroom for visitors. Taylor's greatest contribution to Rookwood pottery was his persistence in getting ceramics recognized as fine art. He had to fight at various fairs and exhibitions to make sure Rookwood pottery was displayed in the fine arts section rather than industrial displays. It was the only pottery at the Chicago Fair to be exhibited in the Art Palace. Rookwood pottery was entered into its first international competition, the Paris Exposition Universelle of 1889. It entered as a small enterprise American pottery competing in Europe where it had no established reputation and only a modest reputation in its native land. Nevertheless, Rookwood won the gold medal for its tiger eye and dark wares, as well as several others. The Ohio pottery was propelled to a new level. Before the exhibition ended, cheap French imitations were being produced of Rookwood's wares. It was now a profitable pottery. Taylor was quoted saying, "We have never thus received at the greatest exposition ever held the utmost honors which it could confer, and it is no exaggeration to speak of Rookwood as being now classed among those potteries which hold the highest rank in the world." In its heyday, Rookwood earned more awards at international fairs than any other pottery. Taylor used every major award to promote Rookwood's desirability. He developed a national network of retailers in less than a decade of its establishment. Rookwood was represented by over 100 retailers across the country. Taylor saw these retailers as more than department store and jewelry store merchants. They were educators helping the public understand and appreciate Rookwood's unique artistic vision. The agents advised Taylor about what did and did not sell. Confirming that Rookwood was art, it was patronized by educated women of means and arbiters of taste. Nichols eventually detached herself from Rookwood after remarrying. She needed to be devoted to her new husband, Bellamy Storer Jr.'s political career. She presented Rookwood as a gift to Taylor in 1891. He moved Rookwood to a spacious plant by the Cincinnati Art Museum in 1892. It established a close relationship between the pottery, the museum, and the School of Design. Rookwood Pottery Company gained more exposure and became a tourist attraction. Taylor was in command of the pottery for 9 years before stepping down. It was a time of great experimentation because of more access to materials and greater control over technology. Edwin Barber proclaimed in his book, The Pottery and Porcelain of the United States, "It is safe to assert that no ceramic establishment which has existed in the United States has come nearer to fulfilling the requirements of a distinctively American institution than Rookwood Pottery of Cincinnati, Ohio. The decade of the 1920s was Rookwood's last great decade before history overtook the pottery. Rookwood barely survived the 1929 stock market crash or the Great Depression. Then, as the pottery was beginning to pick up business again, material shortages from World War II withered the company. In 1960, Rookwood relocated to Starkville, Mississippi for cheaper labor and production. The original company closed its doors in 1967.